What is the most surprising thing you have accidentally overheard about yourself? At a wedding, a bunch of dudes were commenting on how nice my ass looks. Apparently they'd all noticed. I'm a dude. Thanks, gay brothers. It was a confidence booster. People thought I was gay almost my entire freshman year. Nobody ever told me until a guy asked me out. A boy who was normally far too cool to talk to me told my friend Aiden that a poem I had written for our creative writing class was fucking funny, and I still feel proud about it. He's really cute, I know. Confidence through the roof. I was waiting for a bus a few weeks ago, and a car full of girls who were stopped at the intersection yelled, "You are so fucking hot. I will be riding that for decades." A coworker referred to me as a snake recently. It's such an awful adjective, especially considering I just come to work, do my job, and leave. I'm polite to everyone, but I'm a one-person department and basically keep to my own work, but help people when they ask questions. All of her coworkers have complimented me on being a lot more knowledgeable and more helpful than my predecessor. In totally unrelated news, I got the job she wanted. What a weird coincidence. Edit. To everyone telling me snake is a noun, yup, you're right. I'm leaving it up so we can all see what a dumbass I am. I'd still rather be a snake than a rat or a weasel. I started my first year as a teacher last year, and a few months in I had to watch over a group of students doing a career day training activity. I was monitoring the class and I overheard two students talking. Student 1. You have Fangor as a teacher, right? Student 2. Yeah. Student 1. He seems like so much fun. What's he like? Student 2. He is the greatest teacher I've ever had. He is so much fun and great at explaining maths. I think about my students saying that at least once a week. I meant the world to me. I didn't even think I was that great of a teacher. I wrote a new story and shared it with a friend to get an opinion because I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I overheard him telling someone that it was Stephen King levels of awesome. That gave me warm fuzzies. Some time ago, an ex of mine was on the phone arranging a game night with some of his friends. I was right next to him and heard the guy on the phone ask him if he would also bring his smoking hot girlfriend over. For a second I thought, WTF is this dude talking about? Cheating scenarios in my head. But then, I catched my name. Never mind the fucking compliment. I am not being cheated on. I overheard my brother once tell my parents that I was the best natural athlete out of the 4 brothers, but I was just lazy. This was coming from my brother who played college baseball and football. I always thought that everyone thought I was a fat slob, but that comment made me think back to the fact that I could do some impressive things for a big guy and I was faster than most would suspect. Edit. I did play football, baseball, and wrestled as a kid. We also played a lot of baseball and basketball around the house, so he was aware that I was athletic from that. Accidentally overheard. I bet he'll be really good at sex. He seems like the giving type. His beard just makes me want to squirt. Some girl in line behind me at a restaurant waiting to pay. Strangest way to compliment a beard, and I was honestly grossed out even though I love a squirter. War story time. Helmets on. So when I was a young 2LT, I was tasked to be the course officer for a reserve basic training course, run evenings and weekends at the local armories. As Corso, I mainly set the schedule and kept an eye on things. My instructors did most of the hands-on training of the candidates. But running physical training was my thing, and one evening, I decided to do a rifle run. A rifle run is a formation run carrying rifles with a bunch of exercises that involve using the rifle. Hold it over your head, hold it outstretched, and so on. SC7 is pretty light, all things considered, but after a few km it can start to feel like it weighs a ton. Good solid training. Well, we are forming up to go for this run, and I realize that I neglected to give anybody instructions to draw me a rifle from QM, and the RQ has gone home for the evening. Well, I cannot go for a rifle run with no rifle, and I'm not keen on canceling the rifle portion of the rifle run because I was too stupid to get myself a rifle, and as I'm running about looking for a way out of this pickle, I spot a C9 light machine gun the lads had been training with earlier. A C9 weighs about twice what a C7 does, but it is a weapon, so it will do. So we start the run, and I immediately realize that I have made a horrible mistake. This thing is way heavier than what I was ready for, and I am immediately suffering, and I am a complete idiot. But I'm also not going to show pain to these recruits, so purely running on adrenaline and fear of shame, I managed to execute the whole program with this stupid machine gun. We come back from the run, gather up the stragglers, do the cool down, and then chase them back into the building. And then I walk around to a dark corner of the building, and immediately collapse into a twitching pile of suck. Everything hurts. And I lie there for like 20 minutes trying to regain control over my muscles and breathing, the whole time cursing myself for being the biggest idiot on the planet for not ensuring I had a proper rifle. Once I had recovered enough to stand, I limped back into the building, and wound up behind two of my instructors, who hadn't realized I was there, and they were talking about me. "Did you see the LT? He did that whole run with the C9. Ran the whole thing without even breaking a sweat. I had no idea he was such a badass. Man, remind me never to fuck with him." Now keep in mind that my own opinion of myself was that of a colossal idiot who had barely kept himself together, and I fully expected for my instructors, who I thought saw right through me, to share that opinion. So I was shocked right down to my twitchy sore toes to hear them say that. But I learned a valuable lesson about the power of lead by example that night. In addition to another, more powerful lesson about attention to detail in planning. TLDR, Dumbass 2LT does rifle run with heavy machine gun instead of light rifle due to poor planning. Inadvertently impresses subordinates notwithstanding being an idiot. This is seriously the perfect story. Not to mention, very well told and honest, for lack of a better term. Plus, it's always awesome seeing a moral of the story type situation out in the wild. Maybe I'm just having a weird day, but goddamn this really just had it all. Thanks and have a good night, homie. I act. I overheard a rumor that I was only cast in a certain role because I was really Jewish. As an Italian Catholic, I would say that was surprising. I've never met a man this stupid in my life. Having him around might actually be a health and safety violation. I hate the way he just sits there and stares. Oh my God, he's doing it right now. Can he hear us? This is 1 inch of soundproof glass. It's not possible. Why is he smiling like that? Damn. Did you say anything? Also, what work do you do, man? Sound engineering. Lip reading. In high school, boarding school, I walked into one of the lounge areas to see what my roommate was doing and overheard him, my ex, and another girl talking about how I was an alcoholic. I only drank on Saturday nights. It was weird and I was pretty surprised. Bit of a martial art compliment I overheard whilst I was sparring. These two guys were watching me and said, "His kicks are so fast and accurate." I then proceeded to throw every kick I knew after such a confidence boost lol. He's an idiot. He has no idea what he's doing. My coworker in college talking about me to my boss. In a film equipment lab, which was my major, and which I was a junior at the time. Thank God I didn't have anxiety or depression to the level I have now, or that might really fucked me up. Went to a wedding as someone's date. After I got introduced to the family, my date got pulled aside by her mother and asked if I had a beer bottle in my pocket. Thanks, Wrangler. Was bouncing at a bar once, overheard a group of ladies talking. One if the ladies I used to have a thing with. Somewhere in the conversation she said I was tall, handsome, and hung like a Clydesdale. Then they all turned and looked over at me and smiled. 2 bakers at my local bakery were talking about me. I used to come in almost every day, and one time as I was coming in, one of them said, "She has a cute smile, really made my day because I hate my teeth." I don't know where we'd be without him. Less than a year later I was no longer at that company because the same person called me selfish for wanting a pretty fairly deserved raise. When I was in high school, some girl who I had never spoken to before spread a rumor that my friend and I had a threesome with her. It was a small school and people quickly realized she was a little off her rocker, and a month later she left the school for mental health reasons. But it was interesting walking past people gossiping about my threesome, which was news to me. Anon is so fucking annoying. My close friend in grade 8. I've since changed the way I do everything. I used to be very outgoing and extravagant, but am now very introverted and talk to no one. I sit alone in lunch and watch anime as to where I used to sit with new people every lunch period then. She changed my whole outlook as a person as I admired her and other close friends. I want to be loud and annoying again, but it's hard to reintegrate myself back into society. All I have is you cute anons now and my few online friends. Thank you. Thanks for being supportive and nice Redditors. Edit. Thanks fellow Redditors, I appreciate your advice and will definitely go out there and try to be myself again. This happened a year ago when I had just turned 14, I'm 15, almost 16 now. and I can only hope and believe things can and will go uphill from here. Speaking as someone who is also outgoing and at times extravagant. Fuck that friend. If that is who you are, be it. I always refer to what Bernie Mac said, be yourself. If people don't like you for being you, fuck em. You will attract friends who like you for who you are. Maybe rein it in a little? Sure. I had to do that because I was a little bit too loud and a little bit too exuberant. But don't change who you are because of what some 13-year-old said. As a mother of a little boy, this breaks my heart. My son is so vivacious, animated, and energetic. He takes to heart everything someone says, and I would be crushed if someone said something like that to him. I hope one day you can get back to that place and be you. Not overheard by me, but overheard by someone else who told me. Someone told her that they think I have a good smile. I've always hated my smile and always tried my hardest to hide it. I still do out of habit, been doing that for years. But I've been told by a friend I really have to stop doing that because she likes my smile. See, I'm getting more comfortable showing it now. If a complete stranger, and a friend, like my smile, damn, I don't know why I'm so insecure. This thread has made me realize that people don't say anything about me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing though. Only thing I can remember is someone saying, he doesn't give a fuck, but I don't know the context behind it. I really don't give a fuck about most things as I am not a difficult person to please, so hopefully they meant that. I went and purchased something off of Craigslist with my older cousin about a year ago. Just recently someone told me that apparently my cousin told his wife that he's never seen anyone haggle and negotiate like that before, and was dumbfounded. Not that big of a deal, but to me it was because of my past history of poor money management and being a complete pushover. So to me, hearing my cousin, someone who I really respect a lot, say that made me more happy than it probably would have for most people. For me, it means that I'm becoming more confident in myself, and I guess it's starting to show. That some of my coworkers think I'd make a good boss. I don't share that view in the slightest. What's the most surprising thing you've accidentally heard about yourself? Write it in the comments. Bye.